Colorism is being told to use skin lightening cream.
When a guy says, I only want to date a peng lighty. When there's no foundation for a dark skin girl, but 50 shades of beige. Want to know what colorism is? Well, let us break it down for you.
Colorism is the prejudicial or preferential treatment
Of same-race people based solely on their colour.
Hi friends! So when I first moved back to Ghana from the United States, I had people ask me to my face why I was still dark. I think they assumed that I was supposed to go get lighter. I didn't. I think when people move to colder regions, what happens to their color is it becomes richer. I think it's the weather, in my opinion. And so if you're lighter, you come back looking a little lighter, but that's just because your light is a little richer. And if you are dark, you come back looking a little darker. Because in my opinion, your color is a little richer. This is solely my opinion. But I have had people ask me dumb things like that, like why are you so dark? Why are you darker than your sisters? And I mean, it's genetic, okay? Like, I got the melanin. Woohoo! Do I hate my color? No, I've never hated my color. Even though there was a time when I tried to lighten my skin because I was curious how I would look. But then I had a dream where I had like streaks of white all over, streaks of yellow actually, and I was like, never again. So then I stopped. I was trying to use my acne cream. I stopped using the acne cream altogether on my body and on my face because I was like, no. So I've dealt with this thing they call colorism. Have I ever had a guy tell me he preferred lighter people? I mean, not directly. I mean, what guy? Moving on. So yes, there is a problem or has been a problem in the past where people would be like, you'd be trying to get makeup and you just can't find your color. I think it's one of those things. It wasn't. I'm assuming, I might be wrong, but I'm assuming makeup is an innovation of someone who probably wasn't black. So of course they're gonna think about their color first. It's normal, but okay. But here's the deal. Do I think colorism is real? Yes, I do. Do I think? But my point is, I've heard that there are places where people are very racist against people who are darker. I mean, but let me tell you, and I wrote about this, I actually felt more uncomfortable in my color when I came back to Ghana than I ever did when I was in the United States. Even though there was a time when I got chased by a racist. Like, let me tell you, this is how serious it is. Like, you get told to your face that there's something wrong with your color. Is it nice? No, it sucks. But it's just one of those things you take in stride. I thought I'd talk about colorism anyway because it's a thing that people go through. And I think there's a way that Christians should respond to this. Hopefully it's a short video because I don't have that much to say. But yeah, do I think lighter people are prettier? No, but I do believe that when two people walk in a room, people notice the lighter person before they notice the darker person. And then when they notice both of them, then people think, maybe the darker person is prettier than the lighter person. But in the moment when people look in a direction, they notice the lighter person first. I don't know why. It's probably just because they're lighter than dark and it's easier for you to spot their features. I'm not sure. But do I think lighter people are prettier than darker people? No, I think beauty is across board. You have very beautiful dark people and very beautiful light people. So ultimately, this is a black people problem. You don't see white people picking out tanner white people and be like, oh, this white person is tanner than this white person, so preferential treatment. It's just a black people problem, which is like, we are like, racism is bad, but we're clamoring to be racist towards each other. It's very dumb, but it is what it is. So I thought, why not talk about it? So in the Bible, we're admonished more than once, many times, to be humble, to be meek, to put people before us, to think of others first. And so if you are trying, and I'm not saying it's easy, but if you are trying to put people first, then what's your beef with people liking lighter people more? And I mean, I've heard that whole thing about representation and how most sitcoms have lighter mothers or casting. I've heard that whole thing, and it's like, Okay, fine. And so what? What difference does it make if your color is on TV or not? You're still gonna watch TV, aren't you? I mean, I know I am. And if you want more representation, watch a Nigerian movie. I mean, even those have light-skinned people more, but like, they exist where Mercy Johnson, she's black. She's dark, I mean. Watch a Nigerian movie. Watch again. Those are bad, but watch a Ghanaian movie if you can sit through it. Like, watch a movie of the people who are darker. But what I'm saying is, yes, colorism sucks. And I know I said, yeah, colorism sucks. But what does the Bible call us to do? Just in general, as Christians. I'm going to read from Philippians 2, verse 3 downward. So it says, do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. Let each of you look not only to his own interests, but also to the interests of others. Have this in mind among yourselves, which is yours in Christ Jesus, who, though he was in the form of God, did not count equality with God a thing to be grasped, but emptied himself by taking the form of a servant, being born in the likeness of men, and being found in human form. He humbled himself by becoming obedient to the point of death, even death on a cross. Therefore God has highly exalted him and bestowed on him the name that is above every name, so that at the mention of Jesus every knee should bow in heaven and on earth and under the earth, and every tongue confess that Jesus Christ is Lord, to the glory of God the Father. Amen. So, yeah, this is pretty straightforward. It says don't go around doing stuff because you want to get the better end of the stick. Do stuff, think of other people first. And the places like the Sermon on the Mount, Matthew 5 talks about poor in spirit being blessed and the meek being blessed, which is true. Like, that's how it works. The Bible calls us to think of ourselves as less, because that way we treat people better. And so if you are darker and you think you keep getting the short end of the stick because you are darker, well, ride with it. I mean, that's even helping you do more of what the Bible wants you to do, right? I'm not saying it's easy. It sucks to be sidelined because of your color. But man, like, isn't that a great way to just be like, I accept this prejudice for the glory of God, so people would. So ultimately, if you take pictures with lighter people in the dark and you seem to get missing in the darkness, roll with it. It's kind of funny, to be like, wow, I can't even see my face. It's hilarious. Okay, if you are sidelined because of your color, well, I mean, too bad for them right now. Ultimately, if you trust the Lord, he'll give you what he wants to give you, and he'll withhold from you what he wants to withhold from you. If people treat you a certain way because of your color, then you have to trust that the Lord knows what he's doing, and he's letting it happen for a reason. Ultimately, if you're a Christian, all these things are things that you should rise above, because you don't live for the here and now. You live for eternity. And so, heck, who cares if someone thinks you're not pretty because you're dark? And I mean, God did not make a mistake when he was creating black people, like some black people say. I don't know what's wrong with that. Some black people say dumb stuff like that. He did it on purpose, and he loves our color, I would think, because he created it. So, I mean, yeah, don't let it bother you. That's all I'm saying, man. If you know your worth, like what it says about Jesus, knowing he did not, even though he was God, he didn't consider equality with God something to be grasped. He knew his worth. He didn't let it bother to him that he was going to come down and be like the people he created and be mistreated by them. He was like, well, regardless of what you do to me, I'm king, and I'm just here to do something to help y'all who are killing me, and I'm going to go back up to my father and be king again. So, like, if we walk around with eternity on our mind, like, okay, they're treating me this way, it sucks, but ultimately I live for eternity, and it's all going to be great. I'm a daughter of a king. I'm a son of a king. Like, it's all good. And I mean, yeah. Colorism, though, is opposite from men. It's weird. Men, usually it's the lighter men who are not very attractive to women who are black. It's weird. But that's just a side thing. But yeah, so if you have ever experienced this in any way, I would like to know in the comments if you think that maybe I'm being too spiritual with this, or like if you agree, like, yeah, this makes sense. I'd like to know what you think. Ultimately, there's so many ways to just not think of yourself so much that you are bothered by everything that people do and trying to get offended by everything that people do, like the people of the world do. Like, it gets tiring. Goodness. But yeah, this is the first ism. Hopefully one other time I can do some other one, like my favorite, feminism or racism, you know. It's, yeah, so this is a video. In the meantime, love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, strength, and body. And you can like, share, comment, subscribe, all those things. And have a good day. Bye.